right. Happy hump day. I don't know. Y'all got to let me know what you think about changing the calls to Wednesday nights now instead of Mondays. I feel like they are working well so far. If y'all will just kind of mute yourself. I don't know. I can't see everybody. A lot of background noise. But I feel like they're working well. So just let me know your feedback on it. I feel like it's a good way to like get over the hump. I know for me personally, Mondays are always I'm like, oh my gosh, a new fresh week. So I'm excited. I feel like there's lots of things, but we have that national wake up call there. And I feel like it's the perfect like mojo to launch the week. And then come Wednesday, it's like another way to like come back together, reignite our fire. And I just like it. So it kind of spreads it out and then allows us a little bit more time together. Okay, so a couple of quick announcements, real quick, as y'all know, and maybe some of you actually, I know Carl just texted me right now. I hadn't read it yet for the Invite-a-thon that started on the 15th, which was Monday, I believe. So every 5 invites you send to your pod group, that counts as one entry, and then every person that accepts into your bod group, that is an entry. So the person, I think they said, when is it next week, 22nd or 23rd, for that the last week of February? You have the opportunity to get like 100 BP, which is bonus points, which is $100. It kind of equates in that regard. So that's pretty cool. I'm all about those things. Speaking of points and such, the retention point pool, you guys. So for those of you who are new, however many people you sign this month with something with HD that generates a Success Club point, if they continue for the next month and it comes out again next month, that goes towards that volume, which it has to be 180, which would be like 2 people on Shakeology. You get a retention point. So what that does is once you do, now you do have to hit your bare minimum of SC5 with getting your new people started, but then you're able to earn all these additional points in addition to that. And that's going to be from March and April. It's in the Coach Breaking News, so feel free to dig into it a little bit more if that doesn't make sense. But it always gets me so excited. And we get like those weekly updates like we're doing with the Team Cup right now. And it's just a fun way to really grow your business and another way for them to like celebrate us. But I feel like so many of us, that's a hard thing. You get people excited, but after that first 30 days, then what? It's making them continue to invest into themselves and fall in love with the products where they stay on it and they realize, oh my gosh, this isn't a fad diet, but it is. It's a lifestyle change that we can continue to do for a long time to come. Speaking of the points and keeping people on a roll, I have thought so hard about this. I haven't talked with any of you about it, um, but I'm just like, for so long, I've had this rolling over bod group for as long as I can remember now. Since we came to bod groups, I do believe, because we spot from Facebook. And it's been a hard adjustment for a lot of us in a lot of ways, just because it's changed. Change is hard. But I'm so grateful for the continuous enhancements they've made. So I hope y'all have seen those and how you can like plug in your meal plan and everything right there. So good. But we hear you guys time after time after time with the check-ins, and I went live, so maybe y'all saw it in the big February group, that everybody struggles with nutrition. And I can relate to that. The fitness part is the easy part. That's what 30 minutes of our day. That's what we're fueling our bodies with. The other 23 hours that's going to have the greatest impact over time. And I know as me, and I'm assuming most of you guys feel the same way. Like we have to guard our heart and our energy. This is a lot. I feel like some of us have talked about this a lot lately. Um, to make sure that we're meeting people where they're at. And if they're not willing to invest into themselves with, paying for the products and stuff, then I mean, yeah, we're going to continue to be there to encourage them, but it's not something we want to just like overexert ourselves with when we know that they're not going to get the best results possible if they're not making that investment. So I am at the end of this month, I'm going to close that group down and I'm going to actually share a new Google Doc so that we can best help these people know what their needs are, what their pain points and their struggle points are, so that we can make sure that they are investing into themselves and we are really leaning into them. And it's going to be so much easier to start a new group with recognition and shouting people out, because right now there's nearly 300 people in there. And we had, when I checked earlier, it was like 10 people had logged. And I'm like, so I want to make sure that those people are getting like special attention from us who are showing up inviting. Now, there are going to be, I will say this, a couple of exceptions per se, that people who are showing up, I'm not just going to be like deuces. If they're showing up and they're not on a monthly, but they're continuing to be there encourage each other, then yes, I still like want them in there. But overall, we're encouraging people to invest into that nutritional aspect that they continue to talk about that they are struggling with. Um, so, Super Weekend, you guys mark your calendars. April 10th is less than 2 months away. I almost said 2 weeks, 2 months. It'll feel like it. Time is flying. Like I said, we're already halfway over February. It will be virtual once again. This time, instead of like last time in January, we broke up in regions. This is everyone together. And that'll be at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern is like 5 in the UK. So mark your calendars for that time frame. Mark off a couple of hours that morning to be there for that, because they'll have tons of announcements and recognition and new stuff. Because I'm excited, because they're already talking about, I'm sure they'll talk more about the mixed fitness and getting in with the new bikes and all that good stuff. And I know there's going to be some new supplements, so maybe we'll hear more about that. And coming down the pike, you will hear more about, but just like a little teaser to reiterate the fact that I'm so excited and I cannot take credit for all this. Me and another coach are talking about this retreat that just gets my heart so excited, you guys. This is something that's been on my vision board since 2015. And it's just never really worked that we've had that many people pushing all at the same time. And I'm like, this year is different. I'm manifesting the heck out of that crap. I'm so excited for the way things have been going. And we're going to make it happen. Yes, it's going to be later in the year. Yes, I know there's still so many unknowns that I'll be dang if I'm just like, let fear stop us. So whatever we can do, we are going to get more information and details for you on that soon. And how you can qualify to come spend some time with us for a fun little weekend away. Okay, so you guys, it's the 17th of the month. Like I said, we're 17 days in with 11 days left. Like, what the heck? We're well over the mark of the halfway point. So, what's next? Okay, so we're in the middle of Teen Cup. So, it's always proven this week has been the slowest week, but still, volume, hype, momentum, it proves itself time and time again. That's why I told everybody, like, whatever you do, get on a cup. Whatever you do, get on a cup. Like, you have nothing to lose from not being on a cup. But what happens after this? Where do we go from here? And that's what has already been in my heart and my mind, because I've seen coaches before, they never fails. They have their best months, and then it's just like they fall off the face of the earth. And I'm like, why? Why do we let that momentum just fade? Like, when we know what it is we're capable of, we push past that comfort zone, we prove to ourselves we're so much stronger than what we're capable of, and then plop, 30 days later, it's just gone. But when we lean in and like push each other, like, it's just mind blowing. Like, gosh, we are so much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. So why do we hold back from that and let it just be like a one and done, or get caught in that hamster wheel? Like, why not keep soaring in that regard? So, like, one or two things are going to happen. Like I said, we're having the best month, and it's amazing pushing past those goals. Like, let's go, let's ride this out. But on the kind of like the 1.5 side of that, it's like, but is what I'm currently doing, is it sustainable? And you have those doubts and those fears that creep in and consume you, and eventually they're probably going to limit you from, what it is you're capable of. Or two, you still haven't really even allowed yourself to dive in, immerse yourself into what it is we're doing, push past that comfort zone, and you're just over there chilling, Netflix and chill, right? Because you're not allowing yourself to get uncomfortable. And I know, we all know, every single one of us, I can almost guarantee that 90% of people in this call are introverts. Like, we've talked about it before. Like, I was talking about with Jordan earlier today. People don't believe it when I tell them now, because I do show up constantly in my feed and share my journey. But I'm just like, my favorite part of my day right now is like when Jordan's on evenings and then the kids are at school. I have like a 1 or 2 hour in between him leaving and them coming home where it's just me. Like, I love being by myself, and that may be weird for some people, but I love it. I'm a major introvert. Um, but hey, you get to energized, get it moving, and doing a good workout, feeling good, and that's what allows me to create that hype to then share with others. Okay, I'm feeling good. You deserve this too. Let's freaking go. Let's do it together. So I really do, and I'm not going to look right now, but please, everyone, participate in this in the chat thread. What is it that really motivates you? You know how I feel about the motivates word because it's so short lived. What drives you? What pushes you past that comfort zone and makes you want to show up for yourself, to be the absolute best version of you? Seriously, everybody share. Like, don't compare your answers to what someone else is gonna say, um, because this is about you. Like, why are you here? Why are you showing up? And if like, is it money? Is it time freedom? Like, and that time freedom can go in totally different ways. It can be the fact that you're like me. When I was working as a full time nurse, I was working 12 to 16-hour shifts. There was even like times I worked like 20 hours, but like, and I missed out on so much. Like, I was literally slaving away on somebody else's time clock. Is that just exhausting the heck out of you if you're wanting to get away from that? Or maybe it's just the fact that you want to be more present with your kids. Like here, Alabama freaks out over the weather, whereas all our northerners are like, okay, if only I had that mild little bit of ice. Um, but like everything shut down for 2 full days. And I was like, I don't have to stress over childcare for my kids. Now, did it stress me the heck out? Did it give so many more distractions? And was it harder to focus on my business? 110%. But praise God, I did not have to rely on anyone else or have that extra added stress of like, oh my God, who's going to watch my kids? What am I going to do? Like, oh my gosh, do I kind of call in? But no, I can still work in those power pockets while providing for my family and being with them. Do you want the travel freedom? Although that's been thrown up in the air for the last year and a half, well, year, and it's been hard. But do you want to travel more? Do you want to go more places and experience different cultures and just get away to have that refresher? Like, I love to travel. Maybe it's just the job that you're currently in, like you want a sense of purpose, joy, community, whatever it is. What is it that made you say yes? What encouraged you to take that plunge? Like, what is it that fulfills you? A good question to kind of trigger here is like to really lean into that. What is one of your all time favorite moments of like when you were at your happiest? What was that? How did that feel to you? And like kind of think of the surroundings or the kind of environment, the situation. Like, you can even like get really deep with it if you want to, and you're like taste and smells and like all that type of thing. Like, you have to dig into those emotions to know what it is that you want, because you got to ask all of these questions for a very valid reason. It seems silly, it probably seems scary and uncomfortable to share. I hope it does. um but I hope that also some of you have realized by now that it's going to take so much more than just wanting to help other people to actually show up consistently, to put in work to achieve the big goals that you set for yourselves. Because if not, the second you face hardships, adversities, objection, rejection, discomfort, like, you're going to give up. Like, it's only a matter of time. So you have to dig so much deeper than that, or nothing else is going to matter. So this is where my heart has really been, the last week or so. Just what is it going to take for me to best help you and for us as a team to keep this growth, this momentum going? Like, how can we continue to ride out this wave and just only continue to grow that much more month after month after month? Will we face hard times? Absolutely. I'm not being unrealistic. Everything we do, there's going to be good and hard times, but there are things that we can do to continue to lean in, have those growing pains as we fail forward together. And it's just after talking with so many of you guys, like, I know because I see our numbers, all of us on the board, and it's just so good seeing so many people on the board, only being 17 days into the month, not even 3 full weeks. But like, then I see our personally sponsored coach recruitments, and that number is so low, you guys. So it really comes down to us and our mindset about this business and how we're going to present that. If we're going to show up and share that opportunity with those around us. So, like, have you stopped and really realized what this opportunity can, or maybe it even has done for you since you got started? I mean, you may be a couple of days in, you may be a couple of years in, or a couple of months, somewhere in between. But the thing is, even if you haven't personally saw it, I'm sure you've seen another coach experience success. And while we can so easily, especially as women, we get caught up in that nasty comparison trap and we're like, oh, she's just got it so much better. When in all brutal honesty, like if somebody else can do it, you can too. We can too. Any single one of us, if we're willing to show up and put in the work. Just like my post from last night when David straight up asked me, my 11-year-old son, he's smart as a whip. It's kind of crazy. But like, Mom, why are you the best at what you do? And it goes back to like, I may not know it all. I definitely do not know it all, but you will not outwork me because I will fail forward. I will fall flat on my face. I will shout it from the rooftops. I may look ridiculous. I may look stupid. I may piss people off and shun people off along the way. Good. Because then I know I'm getting closer to the people who want to be a part of this with me. Like my mentor tells me all the time, if you're not making people mad or not making people occasionally defriend you or block you, then are you really doing what you're called to do? So why in the world are we why are we allowing ourselves to be so inconsistent in working towards those big goals, those emotions are reality. Like those feelings, those moments of joy, peace, fulfillment, like that we have the opportunity to achieve that. But we get so caught up in our fear mindset of the what if, what if, what if, and we let it consume us and limit us from what we're capable of. We're allowing those doubts and fears and insecurities stop us from sharing this gift. And I'll be honest, you guys, I've obviously grown and learned a lot over the years, and it's more than anything in my confidence level. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that, considering I had zero when I first started. But I leaned in and I failed forward. And when I just started, like I was all about customers, 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 getting them plugged into our challenge groups. Now, do not get me wrong, challenge groups are our bread and butter. This is the opportunity for us to create and cultivate amazing coaches who started as challengers, who then fell in love with the programs and the products. And then people were asking, oh, what did you do? What did you do? And then they're excited, they're feeling good. So then they're sharing that. But at the same time, we're doing a huge disservice to everyone, ourselves, our families, our teams, and most importantly, those people out there, because sharing this journey isn't always about us. Yes, it gives us that layer of accountability that we all need because there's days, probably more so than not, that you're not going to be motivated. But when you show up, you know people are counting on you. Those people are watching. So why would you limit them from the gift that is available to them? Like the complete lifestyle change that coaching can bring. Yes, working out, it releases those endorphins and it feels good. Yes, getting plugged into our challenge group, that's awesome. Being invigorated by others who are working for similar goals. But like, why limit them to that little box when there's so much more? Like when you think about the whole big picture. And this goes back to us on an individual level. Again, maybe this coincides with what you said earlier when I asked those questions. Why did you say yes to coaching? Like, have you really taken time to think back and reflect to what it was that made you say yes to coaching and take that scary leap of faith? Because I'm assuming most of you did not just jump all in so excited after invite one. It probably took several attempts. You're probably scared to dang death, probably shivering, shaking, I don't know, praying, whatever it was when you hit send, and then probably like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? You know? But like, do you not think that other people feel that exact same way before you started? And even going back to being overworked, underpaid, underappreciated. Heck, think about the things that we share every single week in our team page. Tomorrow, being payday, investment day. Like, how many other people do you think would love to earn even just $10 to like go get themselves a meal or something, or $10 to go towards a manicure or pedicure, just to pamper themselves, or even more importantly, what did we say? What's the stats? I haven't checked recently, but 78% of people live paycheck to paycheck. So how could that little bit of money, however big or small, not benefit them and their family in a huge, huge way? Like, why are we limiting them from that because of our own insecurities and fears of what possibly they may think? You guys, every single person can benefit from what we have to offer in some form or another. Yet we allow our own minds to prevent us from sharing about that. So this is kind of like a little gut check moment I wanted to kind of share as an outsider. Okay. And this is kind of a little call to action for you per se for like when you get off this call, or even you can now if you're looking for a different device to like evaluate your feeds, your social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, your stories, wherever it is you consider your top platforms. You know, we've talked about this before. You don't have to try to be anywhere, but have that one or two that you just really fully invest in, that you feel best about. So I bet I'd be almost willing to bet money that I could go to almost every single one of your feeds or stories right now and have no idea what it is that you do as a coach, or the fact that I could do it too. Other than maybe seeing your workout clips or your healthy meals, which is awesome. I'm not discrediting that because that's great. That's sharing your journey. That's being a product of the product, which is a vital behavior that we all know. But if we're not sharing those little things, the little day in the life things, no wonder you're so scared to share about coaching when you're not talking about it, because you're not leading with that in mind. We're taking the easy road out by leading with workouts because that's what's comfortable and that's what we know people want, and but also we know, you know, very few people are going to actually put in the work that we know it takes to be successful. But when you can tug on those emotional heartstrings and share what it has done for you, and you know deep down that every single person needs this, whether it be financially, time wise, community wise, like share that. Share what has impacted you the most. It's just like with challenge packs. We talked about this one on the last call. We don't lead with free trials, right? Because we know the challenge pack is the best value. It saves them the most money for one, and they get the best value. We know they're going to get the best results if they do that. So why are we doing the exact opposite with coaching? Like, why are we not telling them, hey, this is an option for you, and just limiting them to that little challenger box? So what if they say no? You better believe that if you at least told them, and even you never know, for one, how many more people you're going to get by offering that and leading with that. But two, even if they do say no for right now, that seed is planted, their mental wheels are turning, and they're going to be watching you and stalking you even more closely to see what really is this whole coaching thing that she invited me to. Okay. So, how do we lead with coaching? And you guys, again, my middle name should be like overthinker, whatever. We make everything so much bigger than it has to be, and it doesn't have to be. A day in the life. And I recently shared this with one of you guys. So, share your routine. What does that look like? Are you your power hours? Are you knocking that out first thing in the morning? Are you getting it done on your lunch? Are you doing it late at night after you put the kids to bed? When are you getting a little bit of time in to work your business? You guys, shout out, shout out, shout out. Whether it's spirit weeks in your body groups, a challenger recognition, a teammate recognition. You guys, this is something I want to encourage you to do too every single day, is to do some type of shout out. I had not done this for so long, but that is what people need to see. It's great you sharing your own journey, but when you can share other people who are along this with you too, you guys, that's a game changer. Sharing your pre-workout dance party. We can still include your health and fitness journey, but something about the freedom, the time, like I said, of being home, being present with your kids, maybe it's a vacation that you're slowly saving up money for, to then be able to take your family away on a vacation. Talk about your emails and how you send that out. Team trainings, like answering questions. There's so many ways, and I can share this little list with you guys too. It's just a day in the life with several different bullet points to give us different ideas of just breadcrumbing it along the way. It's not just like vomiting it all over, but this is something too that we should be sharing every single day in our stories, not in your feed per se, but you can also have that curiosity in like coaching and how that freedom has been created for you too, without ever mentioning coaching or whatever. And so share about that. We have our monthly sneak peeks, which I'm so excited that we've added this in on a consistent basis for 2021. So our next one actually will be Sunday, March 7th, 7 p.m. Central Time. Mark that in your calendar. Heck, You don't want to wait for that because we still got 3 weeks. Create your own. Team up with a person, or heck, just jump on a one-on-one call or ask someone to jump on a three-way to where you can help that person. But trust me, I know it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but the only way you're going to get comfortable is to do it. You guys, the more we do it, the more comfortable you're going to become. And yeah, there's going to be things that you fall flat on your face along the way, but that's part of the process is growing through that. Okay. So like with ours being on the 7th, give yourself a good 2 weeks. I hope you have some type of marketing plan and calendar to like 2 weeks of inviting to that sneak peek, focusing on coaching, half of the month. And then the other half talking about those challengers. A good way, a lot of people do it is you have 2 weeks of loading in your challengers, and then they're plugged in for 2 weeks. They're getting excited. They're already seeing and feeling a difference. Well, then come up 3 or 4 is when you're like, hey, you're rocking it in there. Like, have you considered giving any further thought to coaching? And kind of, share that with them then too. But you guys, it all comes back full circle. Like, why do you want this? Why do you want to better yourself and build a business to provide for your family? Like, what will you do to keep this momentum and growth moving forward long past Team Cup month, throughout the rest of 2021, and even beyond that? Like, what will you do on the days when you're so tired and simply don't want to show up and do the work? And I'll just be honest, and I don't know if it's like a mental block or it just being so dang cold, but these last 2 days have just been like one of those funks for me. But then all I can think, and I can see these kids running around, and I have to ask myself, would I ever not show up for my kids? Heck to the no. But on the flip side, this is why I show up every dang day and work my rear end off to provide a life of freedom for them. And it kind of goes back to like telling them, fight for your hopes, fight for your dreams, never give up. And if they see me not doing that, like I can't be like hypocritical for my kids and expect them to to chase after what it is they really want if I'm not willing to first lead them in showing them how to do that. It's all about show them the way. Don't just tell them. And if we really want to get down to it, you guys, I'm not telling you don't ever take breaks. I'm not telling you don't take naps. That's not what I'm saying at all. So please don't misread that, because it's important for that mental reset, and physically as well. Um, but if we think about it, our top coaching thing that we do is sending out personal invites. It just is. Of course, showing up in our feeds, showing up in our groups, it's all important. But if we want to continue to grow, we have to be growing those relationships behind the scenes, those one on ones, and developing that trust. So, in order to do that, really, we make it into some big scary bear. So many of us do. If we wanted to, we can bust out 10 plus invites in a matter of 5 minutes. It's a fact, but it's a mindset shift that we have to like oftentimes just like circle back around and be like, okay, I can do this. And then heck, go lay your head down, whatever you gotta do, lay your head down with confidence and be like, okay, I did what I had to do. The rest will be there tomorrow. We just have to overcome the 3,700 excuses that we come up with in our head as to why we don't. Literally, all we need is one thing, one reason why, that we're willing to push through those excuses and those obstacles, the fear of rejection, in order to get it done. One reason. But that one reason cannot be the fact that, oh, I just want to help people. It has to go so much deeper, you guys. So keep it fun. Constantly remind yourself every dang day why you're here. I have sticky notes all over my office. I have my vision board back there. I have my daily trust affirmations. I'm writing down my gratitude every morning, my trust affirmations at night. So constantly make sure that your mindset is in the right place and focusing on those things that you can control and knowing, okay, this is why I'm willing, this is why I'm showing up today. This is why, even though I don't feel like it, and speak that positivity, speak it into existence, manifest the heck out of what it is you truly want. So just one more call to action, and then I'll open it up for about 5 minutes for a Q&A if anybody has anything, and I'll kind of read through. I hadn't checked to see if there's anything in the chat. Better be. But okay, so tonight, before you go to bed, make a list of at least 5 people that you will reach out to about coaching and connect with at least 2 of them tonight. Just 2 people, you guys. That is all I'm asking you to do. Create a list of 5, reach out to 2. And I'll even give you an example, and I can share this in the team page as well. Um, so, hey, name. I hope you guys are having an awesome week. So, I don't know if you've seen from my posts or my stories, if you think that they've been following, you can say that, or you can say, so I don't know if or if you'd be interested at all, but I just knew I had to personally reach out to you real quick. Our coaching team is having so much fun learning and growing together as we push towards some big goals, both in our health and fitness as well as in life. And if I've learned anything, it's how powerful it is to surround ourselves with those who we feel inspired by. And sister, you are definitely that person for me. So what do you say? Would you be interested in hearing more about what it is we do to see if it'd be a good fit for you too? I said, so I would love to share more with you. And if not, that is totally okay too. So that's just an example. I want you to reword it to whatever, sounds and feels authentic and genuine to you, because if it don't, well, then we all know like it's not going to matter, right? So that I will share that. Miguel says, hey, as soon as we get off of here. But you guys, I think sometimes maybe we're more not in that mindset or in those consistent, like taking those habits day after day. Like maybe we do set the bar too high to where then we just burn ourselves out too quick. And it comes down to being consistent. And if that means reaching out to 2 to 3 people a day and starting there till you can make it a habit, okay, bump it up to 5 a day, then bump it up to 10 a day. So just because I'm pushing to reach out to 20 people a day, like don't stress yourself out if you're brand new to it and you don't feel like that's sustainable. Like it's about being the best version of you while helping you grow and reach your goals. So I'm going to read back through this real quick. My family, accountability, success, helping others, results, growing as a person, accountability, a bit of extra financial cushion, being a better me. For me, helps keep me accountable that I can show my kids you can do anything you want in life. Be a part of a team, helping others, extra money to make more money so I can work less at my full-time job. From yes to coaching was day 1. Earned Summit was extra money and needed to hold myself accountable as I never stuck to anything. Proved myself wrong. I work for NYS Department of Labor, so many people just need money, right? I have a class meeting. Okay, so I've touched base with you. Okay, so she jumped off. But you guys, that is just it. And you see how even just the few of us on here, like we can relate on so many layers, the team, the culture, the accountability, the extra money, the extra freedom to travel or just have that downtime. Like we all want and need and crave that. So why would we not share that with everyone else? Like if we need it, we just have to move out of our own dang way because we're limiting them. Just like we've said on the call before, like why would you hold somebody else's destiny in your mouth? Like it's just a hard, like tough pill to swallow sometimes. But the truth is, like, we are the only one limiting ourselves and them and everyone in that regard. So that's all I got, you guys. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? I will stop